TV, and I'm here to do a recap of episode 11 of Emergency Couple. And just like episode 10, it's getting better and better because you have a lot more character development with Changmin, which is Choi Jin-hyuk's character, falling in love with Song Ji-hyo's character, Jin-hee, and all of the secondary characters are getting a little bit in on the action as well. So I really enjoyed episode 11. So Jin-hee finds out that the whole night Changmin was by her side, didn't get much rest, and was taking care of her and giving her a little kiss on the side because he was reminiscing about old times. So that was kind of interesting and kind of crossing the line a little bit, but we'll give it a pass because it's Choi Jin-hyuk. And so they're cut to a cafeteria scene where Choi Jin-hyuk, or Changmin, is spoon feeding Jin-hee's character, and he just seems to be enjoying it a little bit too much, and she's like, you know, are you enjoying my pain? And he's kind of like, no, but he's reminiscing about another time when he had to take care of her. So I think he's just kind of going through the past and remembering little bits and pieces of why he fell in love with her in the first place. So finally you get a huge look into Ji-hae's life and what's going on behind the scenes with, you know, the English speaking part where there's maybe a child that's sick, and so we find out that she indeed had a child out of wedlock. The girl is a cute 4-year-old whose father was romancing Ji-hae at the time, but then once he found out that she was pregnant, he wanted her to get rid of the child. She didn't. She got rid of him instead. And, you know, Chun-soo was like, you know, I thought you really wanted to get married. And she was saying, I wanted to get married, but to someone that I really loved, which is kind of like a poke and a jab at Chun-soo. And I thought that this was an interesting twist that the writers kind of put into the drama, because it could have just been Chun-soo's child and then he would feel obligated to fall back in love with her and be the father of this mystery daughter and be the husband to Ji-hae. But I'm glad that it's a different person's child, because now it makes it a lot more interesting whether or not Chun-soo will pursue Ji-hae, his first love, or if he'll still continue to have an interest in Jin-hee. And I think Ji-hae is just played very cool and mature by the actress, and I really like Ji-hae. I think that she kind of has a very sophisticated adult kind of character and sense of humor, and she just seems like a very cool kind of girl. And so one of the highlights of this episode for me was when Changmin drives Jin-hee home and he runs into the former sister-in-law and the new husband, and they're like, oh, come into the house, you know, let's grab a drink, well, you know, you're the best oppa and all this other stuff. And Jin-hee's like, no, this can't happen, what if mom comes home? And, you know, of course Jin-ae is not going to care. I mean, she's rocking blonde hair, she had a kid out of wedlock, you know, she's living with a man. She just wants her, you know, former brother-in-law to come in and have a drink. So it was actually a really cute, fun dinner party that they had. They were drinking soju, they were having fun, and all of a sudden the movers came with all the stuff. It was just like, and Jin-hee was just getting more agitated. Jin-hee seems a little bit OCD. She's like, likes things kind of nice and neat, and Jin-ae is just kind of like all over the place and making a mess. But that's not the worst part of it. The worst part was when the mom comes home and then everybody's like, kind of like trying to hide Changmin in the back, and it was actually pretty cute how he was able to sneak out of the house. Changmin sneaks out of the house, and then Jin-hee follows a little bit later just to kind of smooth things over, and then Changmin all of a sudden kidnaps her again and takes her to his house. And the reason being, he says that the house that, you know, her mom's house is too crazy right now, there's too many kids, I mean too many people, there's movers. And I'm pretty sure he knows that Jin-hee will probably help to get all the things settled in, you know, with all the boxes and stuff, and that probably wouldn't be good for her fractured collarbone, even if it's a hairline. And so he says, you really need to think of me as a colleague and stay here for the night. And Jin-hee's like, well, I just wanted to see what your place was like, but I really don't feel comfortable staying. I want to go home. And so this is where Changmin bears his soul, and he gives her a back hug, and he, you know, goes in for the back hug and says, you know, don't leave, stay by my side. Writers did. So I think that the writers are doing pretty well in this episode. I thought they are keeping things floating along, making things interesting. I love what they did with GA's character in terms of the child and it's not being Chansu. So it makes for a much more interesting love pentagon shape with everybody in there. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Leave me a comment and subscribe. Bye.